Good morning. Welcome back to Wild Haven Pastures. Today, I'm going to be showing you around the farm. I realized we had never actually done like a farm tour. So we're going to kind of walk around today and check everything out. We bought this property in 2022, so it's been about 3 years since we bought it. This was originally set up for horses. They boarded horses here, and we knew that was not something that we were interested in doing. We're not really horse people, so we did make a lot of changes to the property, and we'll kind of go ahead and walk through that and show you what we've done. Our property is a little over 5 acres. We have a front pasture, which we have converted into an orchard, and then the majority of the property is near the back. Let's go ahead and get started in the orchard. So we started off with 3 trees. We got 2 peach trees and a plum tree. And from there, we've just kind of added on trees every year. We currently have 3 peach trees right here. We have a lime tree at the end, which I thought was dead with the last freeze we had here in Texas, but this one survived. This row is our citrus trees. A lot of these froze in the freeze. We had a big freeze in Houston in 2024, so we thought we had lost all of these. We tried our best to keep them covered, but they did come back. So these are our citrus trees. This year we did add an apple tree. I didn't even know that you could grow apple trees in Texas. Kind of excited to see how this one does, and hoping we can get some apples in the next couple of years. Another one we added this year is a pear tree. I've never had a pear tree, and again, this is one that I wasn't really sure could grow here. We do have this plum tree. Originally, we bought 1 plum tree, and we were told that it was self-pollinating. This is the big tree right here. Unfortunately, it has not produced any fruit in the last 3 years. So we went ahead and bought a second plum tree this spring to hopefully allow it to cross-pollinate, and then we'll get some plums at some point. We have 11 trees. We have a variety of citrus, some orange trees, the plums, apple, pear, peach. We would like to continue to add in more fruit trees as time goes by. We're adding like 2 or 3 a year. And hopefully at some point we'll be able to fill this whole place up with trees. As for now, really we've just gotten some fruit off the peach trees. We've gotten some fruit from the lime and lemon tree, but we haven't really had a whole lot of harvest. I'm hoping that as these trees continues to grow, we get more. I do love canning, and I like making pies and things with our fruit. So at some point, hopefully we're able to get to the point where we're selling at a farmer's market. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next part of our tour, and that's going to be the garden. The garden is located right next to the orchard. From the orchard, it is just a short walk through this gate to our garden. So I have the garden over here. We have the compost right next to it, so it's easy to move that over to the garden when we need it. As you can see, we have lots of room to expand. At this point, I'm using maybe I would say less than a quarter of this area. So my goal is to definitely expand. We are in late July, so we don't have a lot of things producing right now. We've got the cantaloupe coming in. We've got quite a few cantaloupe for that. Our onions are still growing strong. We have watermelon. We have one so far, one little guy up at the top here. Okay, our biggest producers, I would say, in the garden are the tomatoes and jalapenos. We like spicy food, so we definitely make use of that. So when we first started off, we started off with these 2 or 3 large beds. And then we've kind of grown from there. Oh, we definitely have a lot of bell peppers here too as well. You can see a bunch of those are still producing. The peppers as well. I think our tomatoes are probably done for until fall. So that's probably where I spend the majority of my time, weeding or pruning, picking fruit or picking vegetables. So we try to keep things as simple as possible. We have the compost right there. We use that to help enrich the soil. We try to avoid using pesticides or anything on our vegetables. So as far as pest prevention, we use neem oil. We use diatomaceous earth around the base of the plant to kill off any bugs that are getting at them, or just soapy water. I do have bees in the back pasture, and I like to, keep it as safe as possible for them because they are the ones over here pollinating our flowers. So, as far as growth here, I really do like these, the big tall metal beds. They are kind of pricey to make, so we haven't put in the next set yet. But on the other side of the yard, we have a whole area that I think would be pretty perfect to do like a matching set here along this fence. We have my parents on the property now, so we can definitely produce more vegetables. And again, someday get us to a farmer's market and have that available to sell. Right next to the garden, I do have my greenhouse. I usually have a table out here when I'm potting, and I just kind of keep all of my gardening supplies. I have all my potato bags here that are waiting to be washed out and ready for next year. But it's nice to have this nice little prep area. I do have my hose connection here, which is nice because it allows me to hand water the garden. So next on our stop is going to be the sand arena. We call this the front pasture. Okay, so like I said, when we first moved in, the people before us had horses. So it is nice that these are sectioned off easily to keep everybody separate. We had 10 goats at one time. So they used to live up here. They'd graze up in this area. And then we had the barnyard, which you can see is connected right behind that. Now we have gotten rid of our boy goats. We just have 3 girl goats, and they're in the back. We'll get to that shortly. So this area has just really become a cow grazing area. You can see Buttercup and T-Bone over there. Okay, so for the most part, this area is pretty empty. When we bought it, it was a sand arena. They used to run their horses here, but it kind of got overgrown. Even before we moved in, it was pretty overgrown. One bad thing about this area is it stays really wet. Anytime we have water, it just kind of collects over in this one area. So it is not ideal for much. We also do get these crawdads, towers that are built all over the yard when it rains really heavily. So as far as this area, there's not really a lot that we plan on doing with the area. It's just open right now for the cows to graze. We have the 2 at this point. Hopefully, we will be expanding that in the next couple of years, add a cow or 2 every year until we have, 3 or 4 cows. That is the plan. That is really going to be it for the front arena. Let's go ahead and head through the next gate to the barnyard. Okay, so the barnyard is connected by another gate, which again is really nice when we want to separate out the animals or keep them contained, move the cows off of a pasture to let it come back a little bit. So the barnyard is where they mostly hang out. They come up here and spend a couple hours grazing and hanging out under the tree. There's some nice shade over on the edges, but they spend the majority of their time in this barnyard. So it is attached to our barn. The overhang is set up for 3 stalls. When we first moved in, we had the goats and they were very tiny. These were set up for horses, so we wanted something a little more secure. So what we did is just boarded up these sides so that it offered them a little more weather protection and I guess really just peace of mind for us. We left the last one open. That is where we have the food. Okay, so the goats used to sleep in this one. We have our hay feeder over here, which the cows still use. The cows actually prefer this second one. So it's almost too short. We're going to have to cut off the top part. Buttercup is getting pretty big, but this is really where they sleep at night. So we have the bedding down here, and then we have the eating area over here. We did change this around a little bit to accommodate the cows, but otherwise we haven't really done much over here. Okay, so this area we just kind of let it go for the most part. We try to give them lots of grass, but just kind of cut these paths for them to walk around. We have an automatic waterer set over here for them. And then, of course, they have water and mineral available over there. Okay, so, yep, this is really where the cows usually hang out. This one is connected to what we call the back barnyard because the barnyard door opens up to this back part. Well, let's go check that out. So once we go through the gate, we are in the back barnyard. So this is where our chickens live. We have our laying hens out here. We will be getting turkeys in July, so they will have free range over this area as well. Our meat birds are currently in the barn right now until they feather out, and then they will be moved out here and then onto the back pasture as well. This is our chicken enclosure. We have the quail hutch. The adapted quail hutch is going to be right back there. We'll take a look at that, but this is where the chickens stay. They're all out right now foraging, so I think most of them are not in here right now. Our silkies kind of hang out here more than not. They don't really like going out. They are pretty small, so probably just a little scared. But yeah, this is the feeding area for the chickens. This is where they stay overnight. Oh, we got Sophia in the box right now laying us an egg. Awesome. Yeah, this is where we have them roost at night. We got a little bar at the bottom for the new little chicks. But yeah, this is pretty much it. We have lots of waterers around. It gets really hot, so of course we don't want to take any chances of them running out of water. So there's multiple places in case one fails. They always have more options for water and staying hydrated in the summer. Okay, so this is the back pasture. The cows come back here often. Right now we have it closed off for them to let it regrow a little bit. We just cut, mowed the lawn, so now we're waiting on that. Okay, we got all the chickens huddled up over here. They must have found something good over here if they're all pecking. Hey, chickies. Well, maybe this is just a cool spot. Hi. Okay, so this is the back pasture. When it rains really heavy, we have an area where the water kind of flows through here. We also have our not quite finished yet. This was our old hutch that we used when the chickens were in our backyard. My husband has been working on finishing this out as a quail hutch. We will probably do a video going over more of the details on how he did this, but for now you can see it's got 2 levels, so we'll be able to separate our quail. They will be able to be outside, but we are really excited for another meat source and egg source. And since we're back here, we'll go ahead and take a look inside the barn. We have our meat birds in here. We just did a video not too long ago. They're about a week old now. We have them in here. They're in a chicken tractor, which we have 3 of these on the property. We have 20 birds right now. So we'll split those up and run 10 in each. And then the third one we'll have ready for when the turkeys get here. The turkeys will kind of free range around this area. But they also do need a place to like go into out of the rain and into sleep. So they sleep in the chicken tractor with the door open. All right, so yep, this is nice and easy access to that. We turn just a little bit this way. We can see our rabbit hutch here as well. So we have 2 rabbits. These were the first ones we got, and they are great for making compost. So this is the backside of the rabbit enclosure. You can't really see them right now. I think they're both inside one of the compartments, but they have 4 compartments. They have ramps, so they have some area to play around in. The bottom is made out of wire, which is really nice because then their poop falls down. I don't know if you can tell, this is like an incline where it just kind of rolls down to the bottom and collects in this container, and then we're able to just put that straight into the garden or into the compost. Okay, so rabbits are a great asset to a small homestead because of that, that ability to help enrich the soil with their manure. Okay, so when we moved in, there was not a fencing around the whole property. We did have to replace a lot of the fence back here. Back over in the corner, which the grass is a little high, so I'm probably not going to head over there. But we do have a pond, a stock pond back there that the dogs love to go hang out by the pond. The goats go over there when the dogs go. They don't like to be back here by themselves unless they have like an escort. So you can see the trails the dogs make as they go back to the pond. The grass is definitely worn down here. And it's pretty deep, so I think I'll probably just stay over here. But this is our pond, which you can see the dogs love to go. We got Molly just playing around over there. We do have voles on the property, so the dogs do dig a lot to try to, whenever they smell one or find one, they go after it. So far they've caught one, but that does not stop them from trying. So that's kind of another reason why we haven't moved all the animals to the front. The dogs dig a lot. They can make holes out here that it's kind of dangerous to be walking around here and not looking where you're going when we're after the voles. But when they were doing it in the barnyard, we're kind of worried the cows falling in or something. So we've kind of just had them back here. So that is really it for our farmstead, our homestead tour. Like I said before, we have 5 acres. We have a whole lot of land at the back that's just undeveloped. We have lots of room to grow up in the front. So keep watching, like and subscribe to see what we do next.